Morning everyone, right, let's crack on with this. Romeo and Juliet, they've met. Right, now then, we left our heroes. Juliet's on the balcony, Romeo had been listening to her. She said she'd commit herself to him, if only he wasn't a Montague. And then he revealed himself and said, oh, and I would do the same for you. So, okay, this is moving on a bit. Juliet, now, to start to kick us off, sort of exploring the fact that she has already sort of revealed her hand, hasn't she? She said, yeah, you're lovely, Romeo. And that puts him at a bit of an advantage, doesn't it? She feels. And she's also worried, and this is one of the main themes, of course, in the opening episodes of Gavin and Stacey, that he may think she's someone who just falls in love immediately with the first bloke she meets. Yeah, she's fall in love with him, and then she'll fall in love with somebody else in a minute, and she wants to impress that upon him. So, here we go. So Juliet, remember, icons show you who's speaking in the top left corner. Okay. Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek. For that which thou hast heard me speak tonight, fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. At lovers' perjuries, they say, Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou think'st I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse, and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I'm too fond, and therefore thou mayest think my behaviour light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was ware, my true love's passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered. So basically she wants to reassure him, this is not light love. It's light and dark imagery and play on words. I'm not saying this lightly. I genuinely love you. This is real. I'm not just, someone who's fallen for someone who will fall out of love very quickly. And she says there that she'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. Strange, in this next line, I should have been more strange, I must confess. Think of the word stranger. Yeah, someone you don't know. I should have been more strange. I should have been more secretive and not told you straight away that I love you. But, as she said, you overheard me and before I knew you were there. Yeah. So, she says, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I will be a more true person to you than people who are a bit sneaky. I'm not sneaky, I'm honest, I'm straightforward. And I've said I love you and I do. And she said, please tell me you love me and swear that you love me. Unless, she says, you want me to play it cute. If he wants to do the whole... Remember, we said that Shakespeare set Romeo up as this Petrarchian love character. If you want to actually woo me, if you want to go through the whole process of chatting me up and winning me over, but like that sonnet, flirty bit, then I'll say, no, I don't love you, so that you can go through that process, if that's what you enjoy. But she said that's the only circumstance I would say no, because I do love you. Bless him, he's not going to waste time with that. He's no longer this cliched, old-fashioned lover. He's now genuinely in love. So he tries to swear on something that he loves her. Yeah? And he's going to choose the moon, thinking, that sounds cute, doesn't it? I swear on the moon that I love you. Carries on that heavenly image. She's going to say don't, because of course the moon changes, doesn't it? Don't swear on something that changes in case your love changes. Swear on something permanent and really precious. Okay, here we go. Lady, by yonder blessed moon I swear, that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops. Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable. What shall I swear by? Do not swear at all. Or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee. Yeah? So don't swear on something, or if you have to, swear on yourself, because you are the person that I love the most, the thing in the world I love the most. If my heart's dear love, well, do not swear, although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love by summer ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, a sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast. So she says, oh, it's too sudden, too quick. Maybe we should stop for now and then meet up again, yeah? Or wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? What satisfaction canst thou have tonight? In the Zeffirelli film, that really is played a bit sort of cheeky. So what exactly are you asking for? What more do you want tonight? Romeo, though, is playing it straight, I think. The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine. Can't I get something out of this? Can't you promise me that you will love me and I'll give you the same promise? Juliet, what he said, and she, as he points out, I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. And yet, why would it love to give again? She'd love to give that again. She'd love to do that that moment of promising she loves him, but she can't because she's already done it. Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love? But to be frank and give it thee again. Yeah, would you take it back? Yeah, so I could actually do it properly and say it to you properly. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My beauty is as boundless, my bounty, not beauty. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have. For both are infinite. Oh, now, cute image, isn't it? Yeah, my love is as deep as the sea. And all the good things I want to give to you are as endless as the sea. Poor grasp of sort of basic marine geography, though, isn't it? The more I give to you, the more I have, for both are infinite. The more, okay, I like it from the romantic point of view. The more love I give to you, the more I've got. There's no end to my love. The sea's not infinite, though, is it? I'm scared. Uh-oh, the nurse is calling her from inside. I hear some noise within, dear love. Adieu. That's goodbye. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, and I will come again. So she's going to fob off the nurse. Romeo will hide. She wants to finish what she's got to say. Oh, blessed, blessed night. I'm afeard, being a knight, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial. So he's worried. Oxymoron there, flattering sweet. It's lovely, not real. He's worried it's a dream, because it's night time. Yeah? But Juliet comes back. These words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. And get this, chaps. If that thy bent of love be honourable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. Let's get married. Ooh, okay. Let's take a step back here. Well, first, the literal meaning of that is quite simple. If in the morning you still love me and feel the same way, I'll send someone to you, and if you confirm it, we will get married. Ooh, this is a rush. And she says, again, showing this old-fashioned patriarchal society with a man at the top, all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. I will give you everything that is mine, and I will follow you anywhere in the world. Golly. They're rushing it, aren't they? I mean, okay, I guess the two key things to consider here, or to, at least to bear in mind. One, they are genuinely in love. I mean, this is real. As we've seen it contrasted with the whole Rosaline thing. From Romeo's point of view, he's a different man now, isn't he? And Juliet as well is different from when she's been the obedient little girl saying, yes, Mummy, I'll fall in love with whoever you tell me to. Now she's made her own choices. So this is real. But, yeah, okay, something for you to consider. Is this too much of a rush? Like I said, we should take these two to be around 16, 17-year-olds. And they've met the first time and immediately decided to get married. Is this a bit reckless? That's what you've got to... Something for you to consider. Okay? Anyway, the nurse is still calling her. Madam, I come anon, but if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee. Madam! Bye-bye, come, to cease thy suit and leave me to my grief. tomorrow will I send. So thrive my soul, 1,000 times good night. And she goes. And so, yeah, so please, so if you don't love me, just please leave me alone in my sadness. Because I wouldn't be able to stand it, yeah? Romeo is about to go, and you may like this. 1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes towards love, as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks. So you're saying, I feel sad. Love moves towards love eagerly and quickly. Yeah, when two people love each other, they want to be with each other all the time. So they rush to each other. Like a schoolboy rushes away from his books. You don't want to do work, do you? Some things don't change, eh? But love from love is like a schoolboy going towards school with heavy looks. So when love leaves love, when two lovers leave each other, it's sad. And they leave each other moving like a schoolboy going to school, looking sad because, oh no, it's time to go to school. Now he goes, but Juliet calls him back. They can't get enough of each other, can they? Juliet just keeps going back, fobbing the nurse off and rushing back out again. Hist, Romeo, hist, and I call him. Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this tassel gentle back again. She has this idea of him like a. You see me have the birds of prey and the handlers of the big gauntlets on, and the bird flies off and they go or whatever, and they fly straight back. She wants to be like that. Call Romeo back, yeah. Bondage is hoarse and may not speak aloud. I can't shout out loud because, he's trying to hide. Else would I tear the cave where Echo lies and make her airy tongue mine horse, more hoarse than mine, with repetition of my Romeo's name. Romeo's back! 'Tis my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears. Romeo! My dear, at what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee? At the hour of 9. I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. Yeah, love, when they're in love, and it's night time already. 9 in the morning, they're going to sort this out, and already she's like, I can't wait for that moment. Oh, it's going to be so long till then. Yeah, time passes so slowly when they're apart, and she's waiting for the news. Yeah, I forgot why I did call you back. So just in love and dopey, and can't remember why I called you back now. Let me stand here till thou remember it. Oh, I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company. And I'll still stay to have thee still forgetting any other home but this. Yeah, I'll just stand here forever, just looking at you. I love it. 'Tis almost morning, I would have thee gone, and yet no further than the wanton's bird who lets it hop a little from her hands like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silk thread plucks it back again, so loving jealous of his liberty. Ooh, slightly different twist there. She said about he's the patriarch, she will follow him anywhere, but she's trying to show a little bit of control here. A bit more personality than she showed when she talked to her mum, isn't she? So she said, I wish I was a falconer, able to call him back. And then suddenly she says this, I wish I was like a little kid who's got a pet bird that they tie down to their hand so they can pull it, or to something, so they can pull it back because they love the little birdie and they don't want the little birdie to go off and be free. They are so loving jealous of his liberty. Another nice oxymoron, loving jealous. I love the bird, but I'm jealous of the bird doing anything but be with me. Ooh. So gyves are what a prisoner would be tied down to, like chains. So the silk thread sounds romantic, but it's pulling it back. Again, just a little hint of this idea of love possibly being a little bit destructive. She loves him so much, she wants him as a captive. Yeah, he doesn't, of course, see it that way. I would I were thy bird. Sweet, so would I, yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Oh, I'd kill you because I love you too much. Healthy. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. Leaving is, again, nice oxymoron. It's sweet sorrow. It's sad, but it's lovely. So, leaving each other. It's sweet because we will meet again. And she goes in. Romeo, sweet dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, His help to crave and my idea hap to tell. Ghostly father. Don't worry, we're not going into some sort of weird Star Wars sequel. Obi-Wan Kenobi's not going to turn up. However, he is the last of the big characters. Sadly, I suppose, unlike the other English literature texts, Heroes of Mice and Men and Inspector Calls, there's a lot more major characters in Romeo and Juliet. But there's good news, which is that you would only write a controlled assessment about Romeo and Juliet for English literature, which means that you are told a particular theme to write about, and then in class you would go through just those key scenes. And what we do is we give you a small selection of scenes to focus on. So they might ask you to look at, say, the relationship between last year's was about the nurse's role with Juliet, sort of thing. So you'd only look at the key scenes that involved them. It was about how women are portrayed. So Juliet's Lady Capulet nurse, really. So you just focus down on them. So although there's a lot more key characters, you won't be asking about a lot of them. But this is the last main character. And it's Friar Lawrence. I'm going to skip a little bit of this. It's an important speech, but I'll just kick out the key bits, I think, in this. This is introducing his character. He is a monk, Friar Lawrence, sort of, well, I say monk, sort of priest, because he can perform ceremonies. He is also a keen, shall we say, botanist. He loves growing plants, but he uses them to make different types of potions, some of which are medicine. Some might be something a little bit more sort of what you'd associate with a potion, something that has a special effect. This will be really crucial to later on in the play when we get onto zombies. I'm not kidding. This opening scene, there's a lot of him talking about nature in general, but the key bit, if I just find it, he talks about plants. He goes on about a lot of different, that's why I'm skipping it. He goes on about a lot of different plants. That's not really important to you. However, he says that mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. There are lots of wonderful qualities in plants. But for naught so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special food doth give. There's bad stuff, but even that does good. Nor aught so good, but strained from that fair use, revolts from to birth, stumbling on abuse. So basically he's saying that plants, and this is another interesting sort of theme that we see in a lot of different ways in this play, plants have a duality. They can be both good and bad. You know, all these oxymorons being thrown in by Shakespeare, it's not accidental. He sort of mirrored that in the way that there's lots of ambiguous things in it that could be one thing or another. So the plants can be really good. You make medicine from plants, but they can be really bad. You make poison and you know, unhealthy drugs from plants, often from the same thing. If we take, for example, heroin. Heroin comes from poppies initially, and the drug that was taken from poppies was initially used as a medicine. It dulls the pain, but then people started to become addicted to it and to take it in a more sort of strong form. So, yeah, so this flower can be both healthy and a medicine and help people, or if it's strained from that fair use, it can hurt you. And that's a theme that comes up a lot in this play. Things that are good and bad, love and hate, you know. Is this love healthy or is it not? Family is important, and yet on the other hand, the conflict between the families is causing problems. There's a lot of different ideas like this to explore. And as he says here, continuing our theme, virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified. So good things can turn into bad things if they're misused, and bad things can sometimes be the right thing to do and can be useful. So bear this in mind, because it's an interesting comment in the whole thing, and also because it will be a plot point a bit later on, the fact that he can make all these different potions. In fact, just look at this last bit here. Maybe we'll do the end of his scene. Within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. So in this little flower I got in my hand, there's both poison and medicine. For this being smelt with that part cheers each part. Being tasted slays all senses with the heart. So you smell it and it's nice. It's good for you. If you taste it, you die. Two such opposed kings encamp them still in man, as well as herbs, grace and goodwill. So people are like plants. They have good and bad bits. Yeah? Like plants, people have both sides. Grace, niceness, rude will, nastiness. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker, death, eats up that plant. When you have the worst part of your personality dominating, soon that will destroy you. The canker, which is like a disease for plants, will eat up the plant, will eat you up. Yeah. Now, why have we got this guy in a play? Because he is Romeo's confessor, his confidant. Romeo goes to him for support and goes to him for advice. This is the person Romeo trusts the most. And so, as he said, he's going to see his ghostly father. He's going to go and tell him the news. So here he comes, fresh from running out of Juliet's garden. Oh, in the Zeffirelli film, my favourite bit is the bit before this scene, where they get some nice, exciting, bouncy music and Romeo just runs up and down the hills. Bless him. He's happy. He's actually in love. Good morrow, father. Benedicte, what early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head, so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch in every old man's eye, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth couch his limbs, there golden sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or, if not so, then here I hit it right, our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight. So either you're not well, why the hell are you up so early? Either you're not well, or you have not been to bed at all. And Romeo responds, the last is true, the sweeter rest was mine. Well, so, yeah, I was up all night, mate. The sweeter rest. Friar Lawrence is shocked. Good God, pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosaline? Remember I said Romeo won't talk about her anymore, but she will be raised once more. So Lawrence thinks, oh, have you been sleeping with Rosaline? What? And Romeo's shocked. With Rosaline, my ghostly father? No. I forgot that name, and that name's Woe. I've forgotten her, and I've forgotten how she made me feel. And that is true, isn't it? Look how bouncy and happy he is now compared to what he was like before he met Juliet. That's my good son, but where hast thou been then? I'll tell thee, ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy. Yeah, I went to my enemy's party, when on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. So trying to play little riddles, isn't he? I've gone to an enemy, and then one of the enemy has wounded me, and I've wounded them, but he means wounded, affected by love. Yeah, Cupid's arrow again. Both our remedies within thy help and holy physic lies, so your medicine can fix us. But he doesn't mean real medicine, does he? He's going to ask him if they would he will marry him. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe. And of course, Friar Lawrence would quite like some straight talking. So he asks him, what are you talking about? Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift. Yeah, if you don't explain things clearly to me, I can't give you a helpful answer. Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, nor combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass. But this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today. Yeah, so I'm in love with the daughter of Capulet, and I'll tell you the full story as we go along, but look, I want you to marry us today. Again, it's a hell of a rush, and Friar Lawrence sees it that way. Yeah, he's shocked. Holy St. Francis, what a change is here. Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Have you forgotten her? Yesterday you were all over her, now all of a sudden you've forgotten her. Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. This is an interesting point, isn't it? So men don't love with their heart, they just look at pretty women and say, she's nice, I love her now. Jesus Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline! How much salt water thrown away in waste to season love, that of it doth not taste! The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans ring yet in my ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. It's not so long ago you were crying your eyes out. My ears are still ringing with you moaning about her. You washed your face with salt over this. You've still got a tear on your face that you cried for her. And now all of a sudden you've forgotten about her. Fair thou wast thyself, and thou woes thine. Thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fail when there's no strength in men. You say, what the? You just change like this? What? How can you be? Thou chidst me oft for loving Rosaline, for doting, not for loving, pupil mine, and badst me bury love, not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have. So you told me, you just told me off for loving Rosaline, and he said that he didn't love her, he was just fancying her. And you told me to forget about her. And he said, yeah, but not bury her, the love for her in a grave, and then pull another one out. It was a rather unpleasant image, but that's what Friar Lawrence is going for, isn't it? He's trying to shock Romeo, like, well, this isn't right, mate. I mean, you can't, oh, I love, I can't stand life anymore, and then suddenly a day later, met someone else now. Marry me to her. Yeah, he's worried. Romeo tries to reassure him. I pray thee, chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so, yes, she gives me love back. Rosaline was never going to. Or she knew, oops. Oh, getting a little bit of a delay. Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote and could not spell. But come, young waverer, come go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancour to pure love. Oh, so having not agreed, suddenly Friar Lawrence says, actually, I will help you out, maybe, because maybe if you two get together, we do it the right way, it could end the big fuse in Montague and the Capulets. Yeah? So the daughter of Capulet, the son of Montague, marry. Maybe those two families will have to come together. Romeo's not hanging around. Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste. Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast. So Romeo's like, come on, let's get started, let's get things sorted. And then Friar Lawrence, whoa, slow down. If you rush, you'll fall. So Friar Lawrence started to say, okay, maybe there's a way to sort the problems out here. Maybe this is a good idea, but let's not rush into this. Let's make sure it's right. Yeah? So it's wise advice, isn't it? I'm going to go on a tiny bit more. I know it's nearly half past, because there's a little Mercutio Benvolio scene, which is rather interesting. So this is somewhere else now. They haven't seen Romeo since. Yeah? It's there's some interesting news. So Mercutio, where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home last night? Not to his father's. I spoke with his man. Ah, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline torments him so he'll sure run mad. So they think, he's just gone off sulking because he still loves Rosaline. But here's the big news. Benvolio says Tybalt, remember Tybalt recognised Romeo in the party and said he'll pay for this later. Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house. A challenge on my life. Romeo will answer it. Any man that can write may answer a letter. Nay, he will answer the letter's master. How he dares, being dared. Oh, Tybalt has sent a letter. He's sent, as Mercutio puts it, a challenge. He has challenged Romeo to a duel. These things happen. These things happen after this as well. You've insulted someone's honour somehow, and so they challenge you to a duel, a fight to the death, with swords usually, or with guns. In those days it would be with swords. Remember, Tybalt is supposed to be fantastic at sword fighting. So he said that you've insulted my family coming to that party, and I challenge you to a duel. don't fancy Romeo's chances in this duel. This ain't good. Mercutio's going to go out of rhyme now to do his little comedy bits, because Mercutio's quite an entertaining chap. And he's going to say about how she's dead now. He's dead already because Cupid's arrow, as keeps coming up, has gone through his heart. So Rosaline has killed him already, and now he's got no chance against Tybalt. So I'll just rattle through this bit and then we'll wrap it up. Alas, poor Romeo, he's already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bow-boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt? Why? What is Tybalt? And here, Mercutio telling you how tremendous Tybalt is at fighting. He's more than the Prince of Cats, I can tell you. This idea that cats have 9 lives. Tybalt's got more than that. Cats are agile, aren't they? And they're good fighters, cats. They're sharp and fast moving. He's better than them. More than Prince of Cats, I tell you. Oh, he's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance and proportion, rests me his minim rest, 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. He's got rhythm, he's got timing. It's like music watching him fight. The very butcher of a silk button. A duellist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause. The immortal passado, the punto reverso, the high. All these different moves, all these dueling moves. He's got them. Yeah, he's the butcher of a silk button. He can, with a sword, it's a bit like Slim in Mice Man. With his sword, he can cut off a button from your shirt without ripping the shirt. Yeah. Been fully with the what? What are you talking about? The pox of such antic, lisping, affected fantasticos, these new tuners of accents, these fancy new modern words there for duelling. Is making a sarcastic sort of comment about fashions here. By Jesu, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why, is not this a lamentable thing, grandsire, that we should thus afflicted be with these strange lies, these fashion mongers, these perdonimies, who stand so much on the new form that they cannot at ease on the old bench? Oh, their bones. Oh dear, yeah. These people who give us all these fancy phrases and stuff. All the sword fighting, jargon. They're total nonsense. Alright, I think this is about time to finish now. Romeo's going to turn up and chat to the lads. They're going to find he's in a much better mood. Okie dokie, see you on Monday for more Romeo and Juliet. And hello, Karen. Sorry, I didn't notice that there. There've been so few comments on the YouTube stream that I forgot. I've gone out of the habit of looking at the comments. I'm sorry about that. I thought that going onto YouTube would be better, because streaming on YouTube, okay, I found a lot of pupils maybe couldn't get onto the Facebook one, or were having to use their parents' accounts because they weren't on Facebook. And I thought going onto YouTube would be a lot easier for people to watch, and there'd be more interaction. It's the exact opposite. So I might go back to Facebook the next thing I do. And I will keep doing stuff. I've got a big box of books that has been delivered to me from the school. So I will keep doing them. And they will be here for us to use for years on, because I'm recording them all. But yeah, hello Karen, but it seems like you're the only person who wants to have any sort of chat. Okay, I'll clear off, and I'll see you guys on Monday, and we'll see what happens next with old Romeo and Juliet. Adios, muchachos.